What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of our Road to Glory career mode here with Grimsby Town. All I can say is I am so stoked to bring you today's episode. We have got a jam-packed featured full of really good moments and somewhat bad moments to show you guys. You'll see them as they come thick and fast, but I just want to say as well, a massive thank you for all of the support on the channel recently, edging ever so closer to 30,000 subscribers. So, as I said previously, I never expected to hit that, and that's a massive thank you to all of you guys. So, without further ado, let us jump into our first game of the episode that you're going to see. Obviously, we just played against Peterborough, won that 2-0 in a sim game, but it was actually Walsall, our first opponents of the day, and they were sat in the top 6. So this one was actually going to be quite tough. They were the top scoring team in third, currently in the top scoring, kind of table. We were top, so I expected goals from this, I'm not going to lie. And goals is what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Inside 3 minutes, Hessenthaler finding Kubo. Kubo to Thomas, back to Kubo. Lovely 1-2 between the two of them, and Takefusa Kubo continued the run in order to score it, making it Grimsby 1, Walsall 0 inside 5 minutes away from home. As I said, expecting goals from the game, and that wasn't where we stopped, because again, we continued as another chance presented itself. 40 minutes on the clock this time. Brennan on the left-hand side. Obviously, that youth academy player coming through. What a delivery that is, by the way, asking questions. It was actually Wes Thomas who put us 2-0 in front after some really nice trickery inside the area. Fake shotting it back onto the right foot and finding the corner of the goal. But I've got to say this, a great cross from Brennan. Look at that, right where you want it. That corridor of uncertainty. Keeper can't really come for it, because if he does, he's running the risk. The defender has to be so careful when dealing with it, because it's so close to being an own goal if they're not really that careful. And it's just a good cross. And the continuation of chances flowed throughout the entirety of the match. 50 minutes now into the second half as we go. Cox gets himself on the score sheet after being subbed on for Ethan Shaw. And he made it 3-0 with that finish right there. And then, pretty soon after that, it was 4. Wes Thomas finding McGuinness. McGuinness, who had a great game, by the way. He deserved this, because up until this point, he wasn't on the score sheet, but he performed unbelievably, filling some very big boots. McNeil here was not really ready to play this game, so I had to unfortunately, drop him because of a few fitness issues to certain players. So there was no Van Bergen, and there was no Shane McNeil. However, our two wingers were running rings around this Walsall side. McGuinness really deserved that finish. And then, yep, this is where we really need to improve. And it's got to come down to me. I've got to be clear in that. I don't know why I'm trying to play out of our way from the back there. We just simply can't do it. We're not got the capabilities here. But then again, what a save it was from McNamee. Got to give him credit where it's due, because that was a brilliant save from very close. It's just unfortunate his clean sheet wasn't intact, because the next shot came in very soon after. But then again, not really fussed about conceding that one, because we went 5-1 up. Ethan Cox again, this time for the second time, and this time with his head as well. Not a bad little substitution to bring on, is it, in place of Ethan Shaw? We have been switching up to that 4-1-2-1-2 right now, so unfortunately we can't get Shaw and Cox both in the same side at the same time. So we're having to kind of, play one and then bring the other on, in effect. But they always seem to make the difference, both of them. I don't know what it is. They're easily two of the best midfielders in this league. Takefusa Kubo completed our route, though, with the last kick of the game, making it 6-1, ladies and gentlemen, to Grimsby Town. No idea how on earth we managed to do that. It just felt, again, like pretty much everything we were doing were touching to goals. And it was just easy, somewhat, to be able to create chances against this Walsall side, who, don't get me wrong, they had their moments as well. But ultimately, it was just a day where our attack ran ragged, especially the two wingers who had a point to prove. McGuinness and Donnell really stepped up, which gives me a bit of a headache now, because obviously Van Bergen, we want to get straight him back in the team, top scorer of the league. McNeil as well. It's a nice headache to have, though, in many ways, on top of that. So, following that game, we faced Cheltenham. It was at home to Cheltenham. McNeil scored, I believe, the only goal in the game here as we move on to the 90th minute and actually pick up a 1-0 win. Walsall there, I don't know if you saw it, went 1-0 down as well to Bolton before coming back to make it 1-1. DJWood scoring that goal. He's actually somewhat fallen away in the top scorers list. I mentioned him at the beginning of this season. He hasn't really hit the heights that I expected him to, and they end up getting a 1-1 draw. So at least our defeat of Walsall, the 6-1 win, hasn't hurt them too bad. They've come back and actually got themselves back something in terms of that one. So kudos to them. However, I wasn't really focused on League One football, ladies and gentlemen. That was because right here, we were drawn away to travel to the King Power Stadium to face Leicester City in round 5 of the FA Cup. After an unbelievable last round where we were able to knock out West Ham United, I was just thinking, as far as this journey goes, I'll take it every step of the way. And I mean, Nobody, absolutely nobody, could have predicted what was going to happen inside 7 minutes. McNeil, his deflected shot fell all the way through to Tim Weah, who put us 1-0 in front after 8 minutes. 8 minutes on the clock at the King Power, and we were leading away from home. The travelling Grimsby fans were loving life here. I can't even say any more than that. It was just, when you're playing in the League Cup, or in the FA Cup for that matter, and you're a lower league side, you need the luck to fall your way. And I just felt like that's what happened. We shot with McNeil. It bounced straight across the box, straight to the path of Tim Weah. His shot was also actually touched by the goalkeeper, and he didn't have enough to keep it out. But we were 1-0, and I couldn't believe it. And it was kind of mad to see it. But then, we had a chance to go 2-0 up. Weah again, this time hitting the post. It fell back again, this time, to Rodney Jansen. And 15 minutes in, we were 2-0 up, away from home at the King Power Stadium. And I didn't even know what to do at this point, because I was sat there. And as I mentioned last episode, I don't ever set up a team to be negative. I want my team to go for it. I want them to try and take the game to whoever it is that they're playing. But at 2-0 up inside 15 minutes, I did genuinely fear that this might have come a little bit too soon. Then again, the way the luck was falling for us, by the ball bouncing back to us twice on that occasion to go 2-0 in front, I felt like this might be our day. And in a moment of madness from the Leicester City right-back, Klosterman decided that he would give us a penalty. And on the 30th minute mark, we had a chance to make it 3. And I was really, really getting in the swing of this FA Cup run. I was feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. There's just a buzz around it. I mean, you've got to think back, right? There's been some unbelievable performances from lower league sides in the Cup of obviously years gone by. Think back to MK Dons in 2014 when they took on Manchester United in the EFL Cup and they beat them 4-0. They didn't go on to win it, but it was still an unbelievable night. And I just felt like we were going to get one right here, as Tim Weah just confidently steps up and sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And we were 3-0 up. 3-0! 3-0 at the King Power! What is this? Oh, man. I was in a bit of a Cloud 9 moment. And I didn't really know what I was going to say to you guys, other than that we played it and we deserved it. But then, I mean, there were chances for Leicester, which I feel that if we take on one of the other Premier League sides later on in this competition, we won't get away with, like this one right here from Gezel, as he have his effort, which just went wide of the post. And then we have Barnes playing a ball over the top towards Iwobi. McNamee came out, and then eventually the ball bounces back to Iwobi, who sends it inside towards Gezel again. And then again, it was saved by McNamee. So, as I said, Leicester did have chances. But, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievably, at the King Power Stadium, it was Grimsby Town 3, Leicester City 0. And we were advancing to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I don't know what to say. Like I said, there's been some unbelievable nights in cup football from lower league sides in the past in England. Obviously, the MK Dons game springs to mind against Man United. I mean, Bradford against Arsenal a few years back when they went all the way to the final, facing Swansea in that final, losing. I mean, could we do it? Could we do it? Could a League One club go all the way to an FA Cup final? The dream is there. The dream's there. The unfortunate thing, though, guys, is that from here on out, it is going to have to be a Premier League side, because that is all that is left in the competition. From the quarterfinals to the final, we will have to face a Premier League side all the way if we want to get there. So, I mean, it's going to be tough. But nobody said it would be easy when we went on the beginning of this run. Nobody expected us to reach the quarterfinals. So just how far can this young Grimsby Town side go? I'm excited to see. I mean, as I'm talking about this, we've got games going on in League One, by the way. All sim games. And we were having a mixed bag of results. But I didn't really care because we weren't focused on that. Our focus was on the fact that we were in a quarter-final of the FA Cup. So we were taking on Burton Albion here, top of the table, 10 points clear with 12 games to go. I think it's pretty much a certainty that we will be playing Championship football next season. The question remains, though, will we be playing it as champions of League One, or will we be playing it as runners-up? That was what I was thinking in my mind. And we started off the game really well, actually, creating our first chance. McNeil with it, well saved by the goalkeeper. Burton Albion struggling to contain our wingers, as is usual in this league. We always seem to have a nice time of things down the wings. Tim Weah again in good goal-scoring form after scoring 2 away at the King Power. Looked to send his header goalwards, but it went wide of the bottom corner. And then Burton Albion, lovely chance here. Marvin Sordell back to Boyce. Boyce back to Sordell. Flicks it inside. Gets the cross towards Templeton. And the home side take the lead. Yep, it's all well and good being on this high from the FA Cup run. Being obviously winning the game against Leicester 3-0 and having that experience. And then we come back to League One football and we 1-0 down against Burton Albion. So yeah. Yeah, great FA Cup run. woo, back to this game, 1-0 down. Not great. So having to fight our way back into it, but we're going to do that because we are the fight back, comeback kings. As we are getting to be known by, 6 minutes from time, we sent through Cox. Cox off the bench for sure, as is the change that we usually make. And he scores to make it 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Just about enough time for us to potentially find a second in the game if we felt like we could do that. But I wasn't really worried about it. Our main focus was just trying to get back on level terms. Honestly, we were the miles better side here. Burton were quite lucky to actually be in the lead at 1-0. I'll show you the match facts, I think, after the game. We had something crazy like 12 shots, but we only managed to convert, I think, 5 or 6 of those on target, which isn't a great return when you consider how much dominance we actually had in the game, whereas they had 4 and put all 4 of theirs on target. So that is the difference. You know, you got to hit the target with your shots. It's all well and good creating them, but you've got to get them on target, and that's what we didn't do in the essence of that one. So I think I showed you the map fact. If I didn't, I apologise. But yeah, I do. Here we go. So like I said, 12 shots, 5 on target. In fact, they didn't even put all 4 on target. They only put 2. So I was lying. But still, after that game, the 1-1 draw, I wasn't sure about what was going to come next. But we'd been drawn against Everton away at the Goodison Park in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And I was sat there thinking, what are we going to do? Because the league table itself, this is how it looks, by the way, because it's not going to change after today's episode, because this is the final game you're going to see in this FA Cup game against Everton. So that is how we will end the episode off in terms of our league performance today. 11 games to go, 8 points clear of Preston, 14 clear of Rotherham. That's why I think we're going to be playing Championship football next season. It's just where we finish. But in terms of our FA Cup, it is Everton. There are some big sides still left in this. And I'm glad to say that that whatever happens, I'm proud of the team. The way we've conducted ourselves, the way we've gone in this cup run, it's unbelievable to see. To reach the quarterfinal as a League One club, I never expected that. But I just felt like this is going to be different. We had a lot of luck go our way against Leicester City. You know, the ball bouncing back off the post, the ball ricocheting to Weah for us to open up the scoring, a silly penalty given away. I just felt like it wasn't going to happen again. You know, your luck's got to run out sometime, right? And inside 11 minutes, Max Jackson found McNeil. He put the cross in, and I don't know what we're putting in Weah's Weetabix, but I tell you this right now, he is loving playing against these big teams because he is scoring for fun. 2 against Leicester, and he's already scored here against Everton inside 12 minutes. If there isn't a big club that come looking for him next season when we're in the Championship from the Premier League, they're doing something wrong because he's clearly got the capabilities to be playing Premier League football. It's just who wants to come and take him, and can we keep hold of him? But like I said to you, you know, when you're in this sort of position, we are playing good stuff. We're on a bit of a high, enjoying our time. It was always likely to come down. And 17 minutes in, Abubakar equalises for Everton. And I mean, that move showed you just how good they can be because we weren't able to get close to them. We really weren't. Abubakar scoring. It was like 4 or 5 passes in the build-up to that as well. I was just like, generally speaking, kind of a bit nervous and a bit kind of disappointed we conceded the way we did. And then, I mean, this, I don't believe, is a free kick. You know, you can say what you want. Abubakar cuts inside here, finds Sigurdsson. We're on the slide. He's somewhat still on his feet. And then eventually it's like given, I don't even know what it's given for, because it's actually Sukasev who gets the telling off from the referee. But he wasn't the one who slid. So I was a bit unsure what this actually was given for. And at first I was thinking it better not be a penalty, which it wasn't. It was a free kick. But however, when you got Sigurdsson, it's as good as a penalty because he just makes no mistake, the Icelandic international. Everton 2, Grimsby 1, 23 minutes gone. Yep. Looks like our cup run could well be coming to an end. I tried to do everything I could to put him off, putting someone on the line in the form of McNeil, but it just didn't work. And then we had another chance. Eric Dyer with a shot. A good save from McNamee as well, keeping us in the game. What a save it was from him. He's certainly pulling his weight right now as we're into the second half, and Everton are piling on the pressure. Sigurdsson's delivery. McNamee out again this time to palm it away. But I was just thinking, if we could get one chance, just one opportunity, that we could potentially do it. Van Bergen back inside to Weah, and unbelievably, Tim Weah had scored our equalising goal. 62 minutes gone. It was Everton 2, Grimsby Town 2, and it was Weah who'd got them both. This is why I said, if he's not playing Premier League football in the near future, there's something wrong. And it's unless it's with us, of course. That's the only way I want him to play in Premier League football. But even so, for a kid to do this in a game where it's the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, in your opponent's penalty area, I was buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Pickford gets nowhere near it. And that is just highlight of a fantastic finish from Weah. Couldn't really say much more than that. At 2-2, we were very lucky to be back in the game, but I just felt like we just needed the opportunity. And Van Bergen, what a cross this is. McNeil puts it back into the danger area. Janssen shot. Oh my goodness. If that had gone in top corner, I'd have been screaming. Everton 2, Grimsby 2, but it could have so easily been 3. Look how close this is from Janssen, ladies and gents. But that was unfortunately the way the game would end. And at first I thought it was a replay. I was wrong. It would be extra time and then penalties. My players were dead at this point. They were so tired. They'd given everything they had. It just, yeah, we were running out. I mean, look at that right there. Already made 3 changes. And players were on their last legs pretty much. But with 117 minutes of football played, concentration lacking at the back for Everton, we sent Janssen in, and he scored to make it 3-2. And with 3 minutes to go, we'd done the unthinkable. It was 2-1 inside the game after the first half. Not only did we come back to make it 2-2, we'd struck first in extra time to make it 3-2. And there was only minutes left for Everton. There were minutes left. Both teams were tired. Don't get me wrong. Both teams were making mistakes. Concentration was lacking, and that was down to tiredness. And I can't believe I'm saying this, guys, but our FA Cup run is going to continue. We are playing a semi-final, and we have a trip to Wembley. Grimsby Town of League One are going to Wembley. Oh my goodness me. I don't even know how we did that. It was quite brilliant, and I have to say my players, again, deserve all the credit for it. They dug very, very deep there. But to even just get the 3-2 win away from Goodison Park, it's mad. And the team that awaits us in the semi-final at Wembley, guys, is none other than Watford. So it is another Premier League side. You'll see the draw right now as it pops up on your screen. But I just want to say, massive thank you for the support, as always, guys. And I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, a like would be greatly appreciated. I can't wait for that FA Cup semi-final. We actually dodged a bullet because Arsenal-Chelsea is the other semi-final as well in that one. So I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. My boys are doing me proud. Really, really are. We'll see if they can advance, though, through to an FA Cup final in the next episode. Until then, guys, if you're not already subscribed, hit that button. And I will catch you all again for another episode of this series very, very soon. Stay tuned for more, guys. You don't want to miss it. Adios.